me go beast on them. I go beast. Go deep, I OD on them. I OD.
What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm gonna be covering Goldlewis. We're gonna be doing a character analysis, a pros and cons, and a strategy guide. Now, for time's sake, as I go along with each move, I'm gonna just tell you how you should use it and the strategy you should go about using it as I'm covering each move, just for time's sake. I'm not gonna hold y'all no longer. Let's get into this. All right, so we're just gonna go down the list. Let's start with his 5P. His 5P got 7 frames of startup. It's not really good in neutral because it hits so high on a crouching opponent, it just whiff, and on characters that's Giovanna height and lower, it doesn't matter if they standing or ducking, it still just whiffs. So it's not really good in neutral, but it's good for anti-airing, which can lead to some combo conversions. So yeah, so if you land this, if you anti-air somebody that's jumping in on you, you could just go for a combo conversion. You get a decent amount of damage. I wouldn't use this in a neutral too much. I will only use it for anti-airing, solely because 2P is this, and it's just way better. Yeah, but outside that, it's no really other use for this move, as far as I can see. So his 5K is -7 on block. It can be jump canceled, which can allow you to go for some overhead low mix-ups. It cancels into 2D, and upon doing the startup frames, it retracts his low hurt box, so it got low crushing capabilities, which is good if you want to go in for 2D setups. You can do something like that off of 2D. Yeah, this move is really good, especially if you want to like frame trap people. If you like delay the 5K to the last second, you can frame trap using close slash, which is really good. We'll get into that next. All right, so next up we got 2P. It got a startup frame of 6. It's +3 on block. It doesn't have any Gatling options, but it's plus enough on hit to where it could chain into itself, which is really good. It can be canceled into 6HS. It's not really useful because it got a huge interruptible gap. As you say, you could just poke yourself out of that, so it's not really that helpful. But what is good about this move, because it's +3 on block, you can then go for frame traps. You can frame trap using 2K and close slash. And yeah, if they disrespect it, you could go for the counter hit, which is really good. I'm explaining. All right, so next up we got the close slash, which is 7 frames of startup. It's -2 on block. This move is going to be a main tool for mix-ups because it can be canceled into jump and 2D, which can lead to 50-50s and frame traps. Not to mention, this is your main combo tool both for starting and extending your combos. And when you use this move, you want to like fish for counter hits, which can give you big damage. Also, if you use close slash on block, you could delay far slash, and if your opponent is mashing, he will get counter hit by far slash, which is good for opening up combo routes. When you use close slash to extend your combos, it puts your opponent in a float-like state, which allow you to use a plethora of attacks to give you big damage. That's why you want to fish for counter hits, because they greatly increase your combo potential. All right, next we got his 2S is 13 frames of startup, and it's -9 on block. This move is good because it has disjoints, so it's good for like poking enemies back, and it's like a, like I said, you can frame trap enemies, so if they try to mash after this, you use a Behemoth, you get a counter hit, and you're going for like a combo. There you go. So if you get the counter hit off his Behemoth, you can go in for like a combo. So I would use this just like the, catch like an opponent mashing. Like a lot of opponents like mashing on Goldlewis, so this is really good for people that mash. If you see opponent mashing, you should go for all your frame trap options, and this is one of them that could give you big damage if you get the counter hit. Okay, so his far slash is, dang, I hate saying that, it's like a tongue twister. His far slash is starter frames of 10, and it's -7 on block. I inadvertently already talked about why this move is good when I was explaining close slash, but it's also good as a whiffing tool because his moves are so slow. You just get like outmashed sometimes. so it's good to just like whiff your opponent. And when this hits, it always links into Behemoth. I'm gonna put which Behemoth I use for the inputs above, so you know which Behemoth to use in which situation. Yeah, but besides that, it's not really other important to talk about this move, so we're just gonna move on. All right, so I'm gonna skip his 5D, his 6P. You know, they all function the same for each character. It's good for, you know, knockdown into setups. Pretty much every character, you know. So I'm gonna just skip that. Okay, so his 6H, it has 25 frames of startup, and it's minus 14 on block. Even though this is incredibly slow, it's good for like for opponents like that needs to get in close, like Giovanna and Chip. Outside of that, like I wouldn't use it on like any like long range fighters, because you know some long range fighters like May, they got disjoints and your hurt box is just all in this. All your hurt boxes in this. So if you find a character like May, it's just gonna outbeat your attack every time. So I would use it on like Chip, Giovanna, characters like that. Outside of that, is only good for like extending your combos. So like I showed you in the close slash, I showed everything in the close slash. It's good for extending combos. Yeah, so that's it for the 6H. 2H, let's see, 2H. What's that? Oh god, no. All right, so it got a startup frames of 20 and is minus 15 on block. Most people use it to extend combos, but there's better ways to extend combos than using 2H. I wouldn't recommend it to extend combos. Outside of that, it's really slow. It could whiff on certain crouch opponents. Is good, like I said, just some of his moves is only good if like somebody's mashing. So if somebody's mashing you, you can get a conversion off of it. But besides that, the move is just incredibly slow. You know, unless you know you just somebody's being stupid, I don't see nobody getting hit by that move. We gonna move on. We move. Trying to keep this video fairly short. All right, so I wanted to talk about Goldlewis jump real quick. You know, at first when I was playing with him, I was like, his aerial movement is just so dog shit, so garbage. And then I started to think about how I could use his jump, and he got pretty two cool ways that I found to make his jump usable outside of, you know, going for the basic 50-50s. You know, like sometimes I'll go in for a grab and I'll try to bait out another grab, and I could just hop over it, and his jump is so short. Basically, you could punish if somebody's trying to grab you. It's just, that's why his jump is really good. So not only that, if you read that they about to grab, you could jump and you have enough time to come down and get a counter hit, which can lead to big damage. So yeah, so that's 50% right off of there just from baiting out a grab. So yeah, his jump is really good. And another thing you can do with his jump that I like to do, off of knocking somebody down, I'll just side switch them. I just run over and then you can attack their back. This is really hard to react to. From just me fighting people online, I got a couple people with this and they just couldn't react to it. It's really fast. So yeah. All right, so let's move on to the specials. I'm gonna start with Thunderbird. Thunderbird has 3 different versions. Depending on which level you got for your security, determines how long and how many hits actually hit the opponent. So the higher your level, the greater distance to travel and more of the hits it actually hits. The important thing to note about this, you can move on frame 43 of the move, but the hitbox for the bomb doesn't actually start to frame 57. So you don't want to like use your bomb in your opponent's face, because he might hit you, and if you get hit, it causes the bomb to disappear. So if you're going to use the move, you got to use it in a reasonable fashion, like off of 2D, where you get a lot of knockdown time, or you at a reasonable space to where he can't hit you when using a bomb. All right, so Skyfish, it also has 3 levels. It has 34 frames of startup. Depending on your security level is how much bullets will attack, or how many bullets shoot out. Besides that, you know, it's just good for chipping your opponent out, but if they can still FD block it to avoid dying. So yeah. Okay, Behemoth Typhoon. I have a personal disdain with this move. I don't know any other fighting game where I have to literally resort to using, I use a controller. I don't know if it's easier for people who use like mixed boxes, but I use a controller and some of these inputs is just really fucking awkward. So I start to use this. I had to train myself to use this so I could get off some of these Behemoth inputs. It's ridiculous. We're gonna try to speedball this, so I'm gonna just go over all the 8 versions. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the forward Behemoth. It's plus 12 on block. Just a quick note, all the Behemoths have a starter frame of 12. This one hits in front of them, and it's good for extending your combos, especially in the corner. You could use 6H for confirm. One. So yeah, it's good for extending your combos. All right, so next we got the fast Behemoth. This Behemoth is useful because the hitbox start directly in front of you, so you could confirm off of things that you normally wouldn't be able to confirm off with other Behemoths, such as the forward one. All right, so next we got Behemoth Launch. This one is plus 3 on block. How I use this move is good for jungles, but you want to use this like getting a counter hit because really can't get a combo off of it unless you're in the corner. You can get a counter if you get it in the middle of the stage and get a counter hit. You can get a full combo. Like I said, how I like to set this up is I like to use it off of 2S, and if they try to poke in between that, they'll get counter hit, which you can go on for a full combo like I showed before. So next we got the side switcher Behemoth. This one is what you want to use for your main combo. It should be your main combo tool. If you don't get counter hit, you can go in for a side switcher Behemoth to a fast Behemoth, and that can give you a decent chunk of damage. But if you get the counter hit off a close slash, you could get even more damage. Yeah, so you get even more damage. So yeah, that's just your main combo extension tool, rather than using some of the other Behemoths. All right, next one we got the low Behemoth, which is plus 16 on block, which you most definitely can abuse. It leaves the opponent right in your face, so you can pretty much do whatever. You can run up and get a grab, or you can go in for a low mix-up. Like, it's just multiple options you can do off of this because you're plus 16 and at least the opponent right in your face. All right, next up we got the overhead Behemoth, which is plus 12 on block. This is good. If you land this, you can pretty much get a full combo. Yeah, you get a full combo if you land overhead. Just use close slash to extend, and then you can go for an air combo. That's pretty much, you know, if it get a counter hit, it's even better. You could do more options and get more damage. But that's pretty much it for the overheads and the Behemoths. The air Behemoths, they pretty much function how they do on the ground. Let's move on to down with the system. I wanted to talk about this because sorry, my voice, I'm losing it. I wanted to talk about this because it has 2 versions. You got the 720 input, which is the regular one. So you got the regular one, and you got the full circle one, which is really hard to input. I haven't figured out how to do it just by doing it. You're supposed to do it really fast to get the full circle one. I can't do that, so not what I'm using. But I'm gonna show you a trick that you can use to pop it off. It's basically something I learned when I was playing with Leo. I realized that you can use your special when they use their special. So say if you hit them or they're waking up and they're doing a special in the middle of a cutscene, you can do all your inputs. And that's how I learned how to use that's how I do the full circle input. That's the only time I can find to use the full circle input, because I can't do it naturally. So I just like cheat my way in it. So yeah, you can just cheat your way into the 720 if you bait somebody waking up and specialing you. You can just do all your inputs inside the cutscene, and it just does it soon as the cutscene ends. It's the same thing I do with my DP with Leo. Like, I just wait to the very end of the cutscene and I use DP, and because I got invincibility frames and I use it after they use their invincibility frames, it just beats it out. It works the same way with the special. So yeah, that's a kind of like a way you could cheat out the full circle special down with the system. And then we got lastly his burn it down. Sorry, I had to do that. I had to do that. We got his burn it down. It got three versions. So it works just like his Thunderbird. The more your security level, the more lockdown you get from it. So that's pretty much it. So if you like security level 3, you get more lockdown from it, which allows you to go in for your 50-50s. So that's the end of the video. I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Did I miss anything? Did y'all learn anything? Just put it down in the comments. And if you got any more video ideas, I will be later in the week playing with Goldlewis, but I gotta wait for my controller because I broke my controller doing some of these inputs on the controller I use. So now my down button doesn't want to work as it should be working. So yeah, just let me know what other videos you want to see. When I get my controller, I'll be uploading it, so I could actually show y'all some in gameplay with Goldlewis Dickinson, putting my information that I learned over the past 2 days to use, so you can see firsthand. But besides that, that's the end of the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace.
Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on bling and she freeze. Photo, please, no photos. No, G's, no, please, no photos. Hit the door and the dome and just whole team here might need some. Still young, but I move like a new deal to my